Jamie Foxx, sharing new details about the mysterious medical emergency that led to his hospitalization last year.
Well, I know he poisoned Jamie Foxx, and Jamie Foxx reported him to the FBI because of it.
Popped out the town car with a camera, said, "Yo, Puff, yo, you gotta let me film this, the whole thing. We need to document this, Playboy." He was like, "Yo, let him through." And I'm like, "All right, I'm through."
On a tense May morning, a federal courtroom in New York transformed into the epicenter of global attention as actor Jamie Foxx took the stand to testify in a case involving Sean Diddy Combs, once considered a close friend. Foxx's testimony is believed to hold the potential to shed light on serious allegations swirling around Hollywood's entertainment industry, where questions of power dynamics and financial influence have come under scrutiny in this investigation.
Well, I hang with P. Diddy, a lot, man. Sean, Puffy Combs. We hang out, man. I mean, we party, and I call him Black Gatsby, man.
Jamie Foxx laughing off his party days with Diddy, poking fun in his Netflix comedy special, Jamie Foxx, What Had Happened Was, which is streaming now. The actor and comedian breaking his silence about his road to recovery after his near-fatal stroke last year spawned conspiracy theories on social media.
In an instant, a friendship that had lasted for 20 years was broken. What did Jamie Foxx disclose that left Diddy speechless and unable to move on? Hollywood has never seen such a betrayal. Jamie Foxx and Sean Diddy Combs were once an unbeatable couple at exclusive events for the real elite, nights of glittering promises of change over clinking glasses, where secrets were exchanged for silence and fame was gained at the expense of one's soul. Nevertheless, Jamie took the witness stand in a chilly gray suit in the sterile federal courtroom, devoid of any stage lights, music, or laughter, bearing the one thing Diddy dreaded most.
Well, I know he poisoned Jamie Foxx, and Jamie Foxx reported him to the FBI because of it. I know that's a fact.
She took me to Quincy Jones's house.
Hey, I have a question for you about this whole P. Diddy thing. About the rumors that are just online are just crazy. I wonder if you could just clear it up for the fans.
He is now the one shattering all illusions, not the dependable brother or the brilliant Jamie Foxx of glitzy roles. Furthermore, his testimony is sufficiently credible to guarantee that Diddy will never again be able to enjoy freedom. What did Jamie see on those sumptuous evenings of celebration? What made him turn against the big brother who had helped him reach the height of his fame? Most importantly, is Jamie the key player in a scheme to topple the immoral empire Diddy has cultivated for more than 20 years? This is reality, not a film. And you're going to hear some shocking information that Hollywood has been trying to hide for the past 20 years with millions of dollars.
I know some will brand me a traitor, but staying silent would make me complicit. For 2 decades, I turned a blind eye, deaf ear, and feigned ignorance because I too reap the rewards of that corrupt system. But today, I choose to tell the truth.
So Jamie Foxx suffered a very serious medical emergency.
Jamie Foxx stopped at this moment, took a deep breath, and looked around the courtroom before focusing on Diddy. Despite the witness stand between them, Diddy continued to stare back at Jamie, his narrowed eyes blazing with a fierce intensity as though he was trying to intimidate him. The accusations of violence, extortion, and human trafficking had already captured the attention of the entire world, but nobody could have imagined that one of the people who would testify would be Jamie Foxx, who was Diddy's brother, ally, and close friend in their heyday. The courtroom fell silent as Jamie walked in. His voice rang with unwavering resolve despite his shaking hands and red-rimmed eyes.
I'm here to unmask the devil hiding in plain sight. I've seen what Diddy has done, not just to me, but to Cassie and countless others.
Hollywood was rocked by that statement, which fell like a stone into a still lake. Once a glowing presence at lavish galas with Diddy, Jamie Foxx now took to the stage to criticize the man he once referred to as a friend. Why did he turn away? What drove a famous celebrity like Jamie to jeopardize everything for the sake of the truth?
I just didn't want you to see me like that, man. I want you to see me laughing, having a good time, partying, cracking a joke, doing a movie, television show. I didn't want you to see me with now, by being quiet, sometimes things, get out of hand. People saying what I got. Some people said I was blind, but as you can see, the eyes are working. Eyes are working just fine. And then, some people were talking about I'm clone. Well, check this out. Just kidding. Not clone, man, but I'm here on earth because of some great people. I'm here on earth because of God, man. Look, April 11th last year, bad headache. That's my boy for Avenue. I was gone for 20 days. I don't remember anything.
But after he said Diddy did something to me, he said, and I'm the one that called the feds on him. So everybody out here that's talking about Diageo, this, that, and the other, better go back and think about when that happened to Jamie.
To comprehend, we need to go back to 2004, when Jamie entered Diddy's whirlwind and realized that the parties that millions of people hoped to attend were actually a doorway to hell.
I started hanging out with Sean Combs in 2004, invited to rub shoulders with a music icon, thinking it was the chance to transform my life. But I was wrong. What I saw and went through, it was a nightmare. Sean Combs isn't human. He's a monster.
Jamie Foxx was at the height of his fame in 2004. In addition to solidifying his status as a Hollywood star, his riveting performance in Ray elevated him to the status of a representation of unbridled talent and unwavering ambition. Beneath the glittering spotlight, however, Jamie was caught up in the dark whirlpool of Sean Diddy Combs' world, a world of extravagant parties, unbridled power, and evil deeds wrapped in glitz and glamour.
This party's $1.5 million. I said, like, for what? I mean, what are you saying? He said, it costs $1.5 million to throw this party. I said, Puff, oh my God, I love it. The party's amazing. Yes, the mayor is here and everything. I said, but that's too much money. I said, you come to my place in LA, I'll throw you a party for $400 that will rival this party. And he got a little mad because, you know, he was like, yo, no, I'm known for this shit. Don't front.
From what I'm seeing now, why isn't a floodgate of people saying that Jamie didn't say, I called the police, I called the feds. Diddy did this to me, and I'm the one that called the feds on him.
Okay. My question is, do you believe him if you felt that was serious? Do you believe that that was the case?
Yeah, I believe him.
What made you believe that Diddy was...
Because I heard the rumors before I seen the show.
Jamie Foxx confronts Diddy today in this historic courtroom, bearing the burden of emotional scars and armed with incisive evidence to expose the real Diddy, not just a music mogul, but a life predator who has destroyed innumerable lives, including his own. At Diddy's notorious white party and freak-out extravaganzas, which were teeming with danger and decadence, Jamie Foxx was an essential guest.
It was a place where music thrummed with life, where multi-million-dollar deals were sealed, and where you could rub shoulders with the most influential titans in the entertainment world.
Now, Quincy was there. Quincy, I mean, him and Will and Tevin Campbell and all of that, people that's not from the 90s, those allegations was out there about Quincy.
When Jamie testified in court, his voice faltered as he described his vivid and unfiltered memories. For anyone, receiving an invitation from Diddy was the ultimate dream, a golden ticket to the inner circle of Hollywood's elite. Jamie was elated at the time, feeling as though he had reached the pinnacle of his profession. But that dream turned into a terrifying nightmare in a matter of 6 months. Jamie and Cassie Ventura, Diddy's then-girlfriend, were led into a secret room during one of Diddy's infamous freak-out parties, which took place on the second floor of his expansive mansion.
I was in that tunnel, though. It was hot in that tunnel. Am I going to the wrong place in this? Because I looked at the end of the tunnel and I thought I saw the devil, like, come on. Was that Puffy?
Some people may get pissed off because I'm going to talk to everybody. I'm not playing. And it's gonna be a crazy summer. And you know, I'm not the partying type. You know what I mean? I ain't never been to a Diddy party. Ain't never really wanted to go, but I don't go to a lot of people parties. You know, that just ain't what I'm in it for.
Gone were the glittering lights and the polished laughter of the elite. In their place loomed a grim darkness, violence, drugs, young women coerced into submission, and pills that stripped away any grip on reality. I saw Cassie being brutally beaten by Diddy, Jamie choked out, his voice thick with emotion.
He forced her to be with others, even me. I refused, but Cassie's eyes, they were pleading, begging me to save her. I'll never forget that look.
Jamie felt a surge of disgust. He made an effort to fit in, but every party drew him further into the entertainment industry's corruption. When he witnessed Diddy using violence as a means of enforcing his dominance over Cassie, it was the tipping point. "I'm done with this," Jamie said firmly and resolutely, facing Diddy because he could take it no more. "My world is not this." "You think you can just walk away like that?" Diddy shot back, grinning icily. "It will cost you money." Jamie dismissed the threat as mere bluster. He was completely mistaken. The sudden death of Jamie Foxx's grandmother, Esther Marie Thalley, who had raised him from childhood, given him the strength to face any challenge, and encouraged him to pursue his dreams, cast a shadow over his life by the end of 2004. As he talked about her in the courtroom in New York, Jamie's eyes were full of tears and his voice broke. "To me, she was everything. She shaped who I am and was my light." When Jamie was at his lowest, he sought comfort from Diddy, whom he had once thought of as a friend. However, Diddy cruelly laughed and cynically admitted during an intoxicated encounter, "You believe your grandmother passed away from natural causes? You believed you could leave me with such ease?" Jamie's world fell apart as he froze. He was so furious that he screamed, "My grandmother was innocent," and lunged at Diddy, striking him in the face. "Why would you act in this way?" Diddy's only answer was a sneer.
"You're a fool, Jamie. Anyone who crosses me pays a price."
Diddy was revealed to Jamie by those words as not only a strong man, but also the embodiment of evil, ready to crush anyone who dared to oppose him. Jamie's life took a significant turn at this time. He came to the realization that he could no longer ignore Diddy's crimes. Together with Cassie, who was subjected to constant abuse by Diddy, Jamie set out on a dangerous quest to collect evidence covertly. They turned every piece of paper evidence, audio recording, and eerie recollection of those hideous freakout parties into a weapon. Jamie was aware of the risks involved in this course of action because Diddy would do whatever it took to eradicate any challenges to his empire. Jamie, however, changed from a wounded man into a silent warrior who was prepared to risk everything to regain justice because of his grief over the loss of his grandmother, his outrage at such evil, and his compassion for victims like Cassie.
We thought it would be the fatal blow.
Then I get a call from somebody. "Hi, Jamie Foxx. This is Oprah." I'm like, "Who?" Yeah. I'm like, what? What? Who's that? This is Oprah.
By 2016, Jamie and Cassie decided to do something about it. They were aware that Diddy was not only a strong individual, but also supported by an unseen but powerful network within the entertainment industry, and that facing him would be like entering a hopelessly unbalanced battle. Nevertheless, they delivered a devastating blow because of their belief in justice and the intense agony of what they had seen. Together, they unveiled a damning video, a scathing piece of proof that showed Diddy viciously beating Cassie in a posh hotel hallway. The video, which showed Diddy's face twisted in anger as he viciously assaulted Cassie, was a devastating blow to the well-maintained facade he had painstakingly built. When Jamie testified in court, the weight of those painful memories made his voice tremble.
We believed that video would rip away his mask, showing the world that Diddy wasn't some music mogul, but a brutal abuser, a true monster.
However, they had misjudged Diddy's strength, or more accurately, the power of the empire that was supporting him. The video disappeared from the internet within 30 minutes of its release, as if it had never been there. Social media sites, which ought to have been a lighthouse for justice, unwittingly joined Diddy's cause. Accounts that shared the video were locked, posts were removed, and supportive voices were muffled in a chilly silence. Cassie's lawsuit, which she bravely filed in the hopes that it would spark a fire of justice, was mercilessly put out. The case was settled out of court in less than 24 hours, with ambiguous terms and crippling financial pressure that forced Cassie to give in. Jamie lowered his head and spoke in a sour whisper in the courtroom.
We realized we weren't just up against Diddy. He wasn't acting alone. Behind him loomed a vast web of influence, corrupt officials taking bribes, media outlets twisted to his will, and top-tier lawyers eager to warp the truth. We were just two ordinary people facing an immense, unstoppable machine.
Jamie and Cassie persevered in the face of devastating setbacks. They diligently gathered evidence over the course of the following 7 years, including schedules describing money laundering through shell corporations, bribes given to officials to cover up crimes, records of human trafficking, drug and weapon smuggling, and fraudulent charities. They worked in the dark, knowing full well that every action they took put them on the precipice of death. Jamie's voice carried not only anger, but also an unwavering conviction as he described this journey in the courtroom. As he looked around the jury, he said, "We knew Diddy could buy the world, but we believed that the truth, however fragile, held a power of its own."
Every document, every recording, every agonizing memory we brought here is to ensure no one else has to endure what we did. Diddy may be powerful, but he's not untouchable, and I'm here to prove.
After living in fear and rage for almost 20 years, Jamie Foxx and Cassie Ventura decided to take their last swing at Sean Diddy Combs in 2023. Every piece of evidence, every secret recording, every burning recollection of Diddy's crimes, from vicious assaults to human trafficking and money laundering through phony charities, had been painstakingly gathered over the course of years. The fire of justice burned brighter than ever in Jamie's heart. Jamie testified in court, his eyes steely but full of resolve. "We knew Diddy wasn't someone to underestimate. He was protected by a whole network, wealth, and power."
You're looking great. Hey, I have a question for you about this whole P. Diddy thing. About the rumors that are just online are just crazy. I wonder if you could just clear it up for the fans and...
God bless you.
How are you feeling though?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling better.
Is the poisoning rumors true or not? I know it's kind of crazy, right?
However, we think that the truth, despite its fragility, had the ability to overthrow him. Jamie and Cassie prepared to reveal everything with the vigilance of people balancing on a tightrope between life and death, a wealth of evidence that could reveal not only Diddy, but also the vast criminal empire he controlled. But they didn't expect Diddy to have known about their plans for a long time. He had silently followed them around like a seasoned predator, giving them the impression that they were in control. Diddy grinned in the background, seeing their endeavors as a tragic comedy with a predetermined conclusion. He gave them the opportunity to gain self-assurance and to dream of justice, but at the last second, he launched a vicious ambush that destroyed all of their hopes. Diddy and his goons showed up at Jamie's house the night before the planned meeting to finalize their plan to reveal the evidence, posing as eager collaborators looking to talk about a new musical endeavor. Jamie was always ready because he had learned to doubt Diddy's every action. A high-tech gadget, a tiny hidden camera built into a button, was tucked into his shirt. It could record crisp video and upload it to the cloud instantly. The camera came to life as the door opened, capturing every moment. However, before Jamie could respond, one of Diddy's men quickly threw a black sack over his head, and another struck him viciously in the back of the neck with a baton. Jamie passed out, darkness engulfing his consciousness. He was taken to an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of the city, which was dark, moldy, and teeming with the icy presence of death. Diddy waited there, his eyes sparkling with the icy satisfaction of a predator whose trap had just slammed. His steps echoed like the toll of fate itself as he drew closer. He snarled, his voice brimming with disdain. "You dared to betray me, Jamie." Diddy launched a vicious attack on Jamie, each blow delivering enough force to break his will. "Jamie, you dare betray me," he growled, his voice brimming with disdain. "You and Cassie think you can bring me down?" He produced a pill and declared it to be Neurotoxin X, a masterwork of poison from his underground laboratory that could cause strokes and brain hemorrhages covertly. "You'll be its first test subject," Diddy said with a sneer and cruelly sparkling eyes. Diddy shoved the pill into Jamie's mouth after his goon pried it open. Diddy's terrifying remarks were recorded by a covert camera. As the toxin surged, raising Jamie's blood pressure and rupturing his cerebral vessels, he collapsed, his body convulsing. He was abandoned in the warehouse by Diddy and his group, who set up the scene with a broken whiskey bottle close by and made it seem as though Jamie had killed himself while intoxicated. Fortunately, Jamie was seen by a passing truck driver who called for assistance. By performing emergency surgery to relieve the pressure in his skull, the hospital's doctors heroically saved his life. Doctors initially thought the incident was a stress-induced stroke, but Jamie fell into a deep coma, his fragile body strapped to a hospital bed. The jacket with the hidden camera was left in the warehouse after the attack was written off as a random robbery. Thankfully, the video from the camera had been safely saved on the cloud. Panic struck when Diddy found out Jamie had survived. In order to make the death appear to be a consequence of Jamie's first stroke, He sent an assassin to the hospital where he was recuperating and inserted another dose of neurotoxin X into his IV line. However, Jamie's keen intuition told him that there was an odd nurse hovering close by. He pressed the alarm button while in a daze of semi-consciousness, pretending to sleep and quietly turning off the IV before the poison could start. Since orders came through a middleman, the assassin ran away, was captured on security footage, and never named Diddy. After becoming lucid, Jamie pieced together the attack, including the pill, Diddy's voice, and the oppressive hopelessness in that warehouse. He made contact with Cassie, who was hiding from Diddy's constant hounding. She turned over incriminating documents, including a list of shell corporations connected to Diddy's business and a recording of him talking about neurotoxin X with a chemist. Jamie disclosed the presence of a hidden camera and hired toxicology specialist Alex Carter as a private investigator. After locating Jamie's jacket in the warehouse, Carter discovered cloud-stored video, grainy images of Diddy, his voice clearly audible as he discussed neurotoxin X and his scheme to kill Jamie. Carter confirmed the poisoning by detecting traces of X metabolite in a sample of Jamie's hair. He also smelled Diddy's exclusive cologne on fabric from the warehouse and tested the hospital syringe, finding neurotoxin X. Witnesses in the warehouse remembered Diddy speeding off that evening in a black SUV. Jamie recalled that Diddy once approached him with a fictitious charity proposal, which he turned down after noticing anomalies in its financial records, the catalyst that led Diddy to target him in order to safeguard his illicit business. Jamie strengthened the case for trial by linking the neurotoxin X lab to a shell corporation controlled by Diddy with Cassie and Carter's assistance. With Cassie's audio recordings, hidden camera footage, and a wealth of documents that he and Cassie gathered over the course of 19 years, Jamie Foxx stands tall at this trial today. In addition to exposing Diddy, this evidence reveals a vast network of corruption that has been protecting him, including bribed officials, fake charities, and horrible crimes like money laundering, drug smuggling, and human trafficking. Diddy's legal team rushed to refute Jamie's testimony in court, calling him a fame-hungry liar who was fabricating stories to get even. Diddy sat stonily, but Jamie seemed to feel the threat emanating from his cold glare. However, the incriminating documents and the hidden camera footage of his illegal activities stood as indisputable evidence that could not be disregarded. Emotions ran high among the public, who were already tired of Diddy in the wake of a string of accusations. Using hashtags like #JusticeForVictims and #DiddyExposed, millions of people showed their support for Jamie and Cassie on social media. However, Diddy and Jamie are only a small part of this story. It compels us to consider more significant issues. Where does abuse of power end? What obligation do we, the audience, have when famous people like Diddy use their position to influence and hide wrongdoing? Who will be affected by these disclosures? It's possible that victims like Cassie, who endured their suffering in silence, will eventually see justice. However, those who ignored Diddy's wrongdoings, whether out of self-interest or fear, now stand before the public. The ramifications of this case could rock Hollywood to its foundation, revealing the shadowy sides the entertainment industry has long concealed. Jamie's journey teaches us a valuable lesson. No matter how painful the truth is, it is always worth fighting for. However, is that truth strong enough to overthrow an empire that is protected by riches and power? What will we do to safeguard the upcoming victims if justice is not served? Even though Jamie Foxx was still crying as he left the witness stand, there was a glimmer of hope in his eyes. In addition to himself, he fought for Cassie, the innumerable unnamed victims, and a cleaner, more equitable Hollywood. However, this tale is far from finished. Deeper secrets are still hidden and waiting to be discovered, and Diddy's web of power shielding him still looms. Will justice be served in this case? Will survivors like Jamie and Cassie be able to regain their light and come out of the shadows? Click the subscribe button and enable our channel's notifications to continue revealing the truth and to be informed of the next developments in this century-long trial. Our motivation to create in-depth investigative videos that highlight Hollywood's shadowiest corners is fueled by your support. We'll reveal more well-known figures who might be connected to Diddy's network in our upcoming video. You should not miss it. Who do you think will challenge Diddy next? Let us know in the comments section below. What steps can we take to safeguard victims in the future?